Hello there, ladies and gents. Andrew here, on top of Mount Wellington still. So I've been here for a long time now, right? Today I want to tell you a story. You might have heard it before, you might have heard it from me, but it's a hot dog story. And the reason I want to tell you the hot dog story is because there's a lot happening at the moment. We've got a bit of economic uncertainty, there's still post-COVID recovery. I think that we've got uncertainty around AI and there's this great opportunity, but there's also quite a lot of fear around AI and what it's going to mean and relevance and all of those particular kind of things. I heard this great story years ago, and I remember I've told it during the global financial crisis, during COVID, and I'm going to tell it again now because I think it's really, really relevant. There was an old man, and he ran a hot dog stand near a train station, and it was a really busy train station, and it was a really busy hot dog stand. And he really loved what he did. He got his own sausages, his own frankfurters made, had his own buns made. He even had his own sauce made. It was like everything was done beautifully, old school. And he made it really well. It was value. The hot dog stand was open long hours. It was really accommodating for the travelers, and of course he had an incredible loyal following, and he built a really successful business. One day his son came home from university and was spending a little bit of time with his father. And he was saying to his dad, so, Dad, like, what are you doing about, the people are going to have less disposable income, the cost of living is rising, they're not going to be able to afford hot dogs, you need to kind of make a plan. And we've got economic chaos is about to happen, and it's really going to impact on your business. So the old man thought, well, okay, look, my kid knows, he's a smart kid, he's got a degree now, I better start doing something about this economic disaster that's looming, and the cost of living crisis. So I better look at things, and I'm going to start to change a few things in the business. So the first thing that he did was he started to get cheaper ingredients. Stopped getting his own custom made frankfurters and just bought off the shelf from Coles, which is like $1 for 400. He started buying cheap buns, and he just started using off the shelf tomato sauce. Something strange started to happen in the business. For the first time ever, he started to get complaints from people, particularly his regulars who were used to a certain quality. Now the quality had changed, but the price had remained the same. He didn't really know how to deal with that, but he told them all that he had to cut costs, because of the economic disaster that was looming, and that was the big problem. Then he started to lose some customers, which is a bit concerning, and not replacing them. So he started to cut down his hours. He wasn't open as long, and of course then he started to get more complaints. You're not open as long, you're not as flexible, you're not as available. And little bit by little bit, as he cut back and cut back and cut back on quality, on time, on all the rest of it, he got less and less, fewer and fewer customers, to the point where one day he was closing the business. And there was a regular was walking by and saying, oh, you're closing up, how come? And the old man looked at him and said, oh, it's the economic disaster, rising cost of living has forced me to close my business. Now, I've told that story using COVID, using the GFC, all kinds of things. What I'm really trying to say here, the moral to the story is that sometimes, sometimes we're reacting to what's going on, and we're not reacting in the smartest of ways. Obviously, he closed a business, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy, as opposed to the fact that he was actually in a great position. He had a regular clientele, they loved what he did, they were going to keep buying from him no matter what, because it was a part of their world and all of the rest of it. But he actually destroyed his business by listening to what was going on and saying, believing that rather than believing in himself. I think that if your business is doing what it does really, really well, you focus on delivering quality, you charge accordingly, and you keep that standard, that's more important than anything, is you will get through just about any crisis. And I've seen it so many times, you know. The businesses that go broke first are the ones that dramatically change in response. Now, I'm not talking about pivoting. What I'm talking about, which we saw a lot of during COVID, I'm just talking about cutting costs. And we've all seen those businesses where you used to get this, now you get this. They used to be open, then you kind of, you know, oh, now they're only open 4 days instead of 5. It's the death knell. Okay, so there's a lot of conversation out there at the moment about cost of living. There's a lot of conversation about, you know, interest rates rising. There's a lot of those kind of things. My best advice that I can offer to you to make sure that you survive all of this is to be extraordinary. Keep your level of service as high as it can be. Keep your quality of everything you do as high as it can be. Be creative, be innovative, be energetic in your business. Nothing spells out the death of a business faster than looking in the window and seeing a whole pile of depressed, bored people kind of crying in their coffee. You know, times like this are when we actually really build our business, because you survive these tougher times. Where you end up in your business, sorry about that, where you end up, it's really windy up here and really cold. Where you end up in your business, you make it stronger. The word resilience gets thrown around a lot, but that's kind of what it is, learning and doing better. So anyway, that's my advice. That's a hot dog story. Be careful of what you listen to, right? And acting on your business like that. Now, I know I'm asking you to listen to what I'm saying, but what I'm really concerned about here are things like absolutes. No one's buying. The industry's dead. I hear this all the time. People deal in these ridiculous absolutes that are just not true. Right? Don't base your business decisions on absolutes that are false. Okay, so AI is going to take over everything. You know, ridiculous. That what I said before. No one is buying. Of course, people are buying. You know, it doesn't matter how tough times are. They're still selling Maseratis. All right, they're still selling food. They're still selling hotel rooms. You know, stuff still buys and sells. Houses are still getting bought and sold, even though interest rates have gone up 9 times, 10 times. It's just the market changes. Sometimes we've got to adapt and evolve accordingly. Anyway, that's my rant for this week. Hope it's of value. Sorry about the camera falling over, but that's one of the risks you have of filming on top of Mount Wellington. All right, folks, I'll talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.